Hey, this is Dr. Ben Weitz, host of the Rational Wellness Podcast. I talk to the leading health and nutrition experts and researchers in the field to bring you the latest in cutting-edge health information. Subscribe to the Rational Wellness Podcast for weekly updates. And to learn more, check out my website, drweitz.com. Thanks for joining me, and let's jump into the podcast. Hello, Rational Wellness Podcasters. Today, we'll be having a discussion on skincare with Dr. Alessandra Zonari. Dr. Alessandra is the co-founder and chief science officer of OneSkin, a fast-growing skin longevity company that's developing products to address the root causes of aging, so skin functions, feels, and appears younger. The company was founded by a team of 4 female PhD-level longevity scientists with 15 years experience in stem cells, skin regeneration, aging, and bioinformatics. They built a skin aging platform to validate products, and they discovered that many anti-aging skincare products are ineffective, and in fact, some even accelerate the aging process and compromise the skin's health. Dr. Alessandra led the team that identified OS01, which is the world's first cosmetic peptide that reverses aging at the molecular level. And it showed significant improvement in skin health and appearance in all the users in a third-party clinical study. Dr. Alessandra holds a master's degree in stem cell biology and a PhD in skin regeneration and tissue engineering from the University of Minas Gerais in Brazil. And Dr. Alessandra is also the co-inventor of 5 patents and has published 20 peer-reviewed papers. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me here, Ben.
So tell us what you were doing prior to starting this skincare company.
So my career prior OneSkin was fully academic. So I went straight from college to master, PhD. I also did 3 years of postdoc before starting the company. So I'm a scientist as my background. I studied biology on college, and then on my master and PhD, I wanted to do research on stem cells, tissue engineering, regeneration, medicine. So I always dreamed about building in the early days, building something that would help improve people's life. So I was studying how to build organs in the lab. And on my master was more related with bone tissue. And since my PhD, I got interested on skin. And I started researching how to improve skin wound healing at that time. And during my PhD, I met my co-founders. We were all in Brazil doing our PhDs. We all had this passion of translational science. But after my PhD, I moved to Portugal to continue the studies on skin wound healing. In Portugal, I tried to start a company that would offer stem cells for pets, for animals, but facing a lot of challenges on how do you leave academia and start a company. And the girls in Brazil started a company almost at the same time. The first idea was to differentiate stem cells in different tissues and test drugs from the market or novel drugs for toxicity. They also in Brazil were facing a lot of challenges that the ecosystem for biotech is not so developed, finding funds, how you leave academia and start a company. But they got this opportunity to come to San Francisco to join an accelerator program called IndieBio. And then was when Carolina moved to San Francisco in 2016. And they realized that they need to have a focus on one tissue only. And they decided, okay, let's create this company on skin to understand skin aging. And that's when I was in Portugal doing my postdoc. Carolina Carolina called me and said, Alessandra, now I'm here in San Francisco. We want to focus on skin. Your expertise is skin regeneration. Come join us. Let's try to build this company here. And since the beginning of 2017, I moved to San Francisco, and we started the whole journey of studying skin aging that eventually led us to the peptide and to a brand and a direct-to-consumer company.
So maybe you can start by telling us, for those of our listeners who are not familiar, what is a peptide? And then how did you discover this particular peptide, OS01?
Yeah. So peptides is mainly, let's say, the building blocks of proteins. So it's a small molecule, a biological molecule that we have in our body that has function that builds the proteins and usually can also communicate with other cells to let them know what they need to do. So they're really like active molecules that are natural to our body and that can give a signaling messaging to our body to do something. So peptides are safe molecules, and that's why we were interested on researching and finding a novel peptide for skin. And we partnered with a university in Brazil that had a library of like novel different peptides. And what we did was, understanding skin aging, seeing that the molecules and the products out there are not targeting aging, we were searching, if we can find a specific molecule, a peptide that can help reduce what's causing aging, maybe we will have the better way of enhancing skin health and promoting skin rejuvenation. So we looked to almost 1,000 peptides until we found the OS1 was 2 years. In total was 5 years of research, but we were validating, optimizing to get this peptide that can improve the skin health by reducing what's causing skin aging.
So what are the mechanisms by which it improves skin aging?
Yeah, so what happens when we are aging on our skin is that the cells at the cellular level, the cells starts to accumulate damage, and this leads to like a dysfunctional tissue, which means that when you accumulate a lot of damage on the cell, they stop proliferating, they secrete inflammation, and this inflammation leads to collagen breakdown, degradation, so the skin starts to become more sagging, also leads to a less structural skin barrier, so less function of this protective layer of the skin, which means the skin becomes more sensitive, the skin becomes thinner, and all the visible signs of skin aging. So this is all being caused by changes at the cellular level that leads to the cell to become what we call senescent cell, or more easily, zombie cells. Zombie cells because this cell was supposed to be dead, it's not dead, and it's secreting this inflammation that is deteriorating the surrounding tissue. So our peptide, we were specifically aiming how we can reduce those zombie cells of the skin so we can allow the healthy cells to proliferate, bring back collagen production and a stronger skin barrier. So that's how we specifically were looking to something that could reduce the activity of those senescent cells, zombie cells.
Does free radicals or antioxidants play any role in this process of skin aging?
Yes, free radicals, they also induce damage on the DNA. So avoiding the formation of free radicals is also very important, like to preserve the health of the skin, because it's one of the drivers, free radicals, UV radiation, also pollution. This is all leading to damage at the cellular level, which will lead to the formation of the zombie cells and secret of inflammation and deterioration of the tissue.
So when I have discussions about longevity, this topic of cellular senescence comes up. In fact, there's these particular pathways of aging that have been discussed, and this is one of them. And we often talk about autophagy, which is getting rid of these old cells, these zombie cells, and creating new cells. So is this now creating skinophagy?
I love this term, skinophagy. Yeah, so one of the things that we want when we're targeting senescent cells is really induce the death of the cells is one way, or we want to reduce the inflammation that these cells are secreting. There are a lot of approaches that are trying either to kill the senescent cells, and usually those molecules are called senolytics, which is a very efficient way of removing senescent cells, but at the same time, it's hard to find a molecule that will not induce death of or autophagy on the healthy cells and be very specific to only the senescent cells. So the approach that we used was to shut down those senescent cells to reduce the inflammation that they are secreting. And then with time, because you have less of the inflammation, they are able to eliminate themselves. But what is happening, you are already eliminating what is causing the spread of more senescent cells or the spread of the damage that's caused by the senescent cells.
So OS01 is a anti-inflammatory for the skin?
It has anti-inflammatory properties because it's reducing the inflammation that those senescent cells are secreting on the skin. And eventually, the senescent cells start to reduce the buildup of novel senescent cells, and you start to remove some of them. It's what we call, instead of a senolytic, that is a molecule designed to kill senescent cells, is a xenomorphic. That's a molecule that's designed to modulate the senescent cells.
Interesting. Yeah. And so this plays a role in skin elasticity and wrinkles and things like that?
Yeah, so the end result, when you start reducing the burden caused by the senescent cells, because you reduce the inflammation that they are secreting, you reduce the collagen breakdown that's been happening with aging, which leads to the sagging and wrinkles formation. So an end result is that you are not only eliminating the damage that's on your skin, but you're helping build up a stronger, a healthier skin that produces more collagen, that's more even, that's more smooth. So we say that the good side effect of a healthy skin is a better looking skin as well. So improve the appearance of the skin too.
So most peptides have to be injected to be effective, but this peptide is obviously a topical peptide. So how do you know that it really penetrates into the skin and does what it's supposed to be doing?
Yeah. So a lot of the peptides, we inject them because we want them to have to act somewhere inside of our body. For OneSkin, our goal is to act on the skin. So a topical application guarantees that peptide is going to be acting specifically on the skin. If we could have developed a way of oral delivery of this peptide or something like that, but then the distribution to get to the skin, it's more complex than applying topically. When you apply topically anything, there is always the challenge of, is this penetrating the skin barrier? Right. So we have ran penetration studies, where we have a human skin tissue in the lab. We apply the product and we can measure if this peptide is getting into the layers of the skin. So this was also an important step when we start formulating our products to ensure that the peptide is being delivered inside the skin. So we ran those tests and we confirmed the penetration of this molecule on the skin.
Okay. Are there other things in your cosmetic products that affect skin aging and improve skin health besides the peptide?
Yeah. So each of our products, they have other actives besides our peptide that are helping to even improve more the visual benefits that you want to see on the skin. So they help with cell renewal. They help with the hydration of the skin. They are all complementary. So we have some antioxidants. We have sometimes other peptides depending on the formula. So, but the way we choose the other actives that goes inside our formula is very methodic as well, because we test in the lab if the combination, if adding adding a new active is improving any benefit to the skin or not. Otherwise, we are not adding, making sure that this combination is not being toxic to the skin. So we go through a lot of processes until we define the final formula, and we take this to clinical studies and validate that we can see the benefits and have improvements on the skin appearance as well.
Can you talk about this study that you conducted and published for that tested OSO1?
Yeah, so we now have run more than 5 clinical studies in total. 2 are already fully published. Others are ongoing or a manuscript being revised.
Okay.
But the first one that we did was a very interesting study because was when we wanted to validate the efficacy of the peptide. So we did a split phase study where half of the phase was using the full formula containing the peptide and the other half did not contain the peptide. That was the only difference on the product in both sites. And we were able to see, especially when you measure the skin barrier function, meaning how much water you can lose from your skin, this was improved significantly, up to 17% on the side that contained the peptide and not on the side that did not contain. And also a lot of other measurements in terms of the reduction of the visible signs of aging, fine lines, wrinkle, improve on texture was more significant on the side that contained the peptide. So that study that was done by a third party, we had 22 participants, average age of 55 years, showed to us that the peptide, when applied topically, can also have beneficial improvements on the signs. So you will see a better improvement on your skin. The changes at the cellular level is something that we cannot measure by looking on the mirror, right? But we have also collected skin biopsies of participants that are using the product, and we measured then the biological age of this skin over time. And we were able to see also a decrease on this skin biological age when applying the product that contains the peptide.
How do you measure skin biological age?
Yeah, so the biological age is measured by looking to the changes in the DNA, on the epigenetic of the DNA of the cells in the skin. So we need a biopsy of the skin. So that's why you cannot do all the time with all the customers. It's not consumer friendly, but it's a tool that we use in the research. And then by seeing the changes, the epigenetics in the DNA, so the epigenetics is what tells the DNA what this DNA needs to be producing for the cell. And when you start having changes on the epigenetics, also when you start having dysfunction in the cellular level, the cells proliferate less, the cells produce less protein, the mitochondria is not so effective. It's all related with epigenetic changes. And we build a clock where we can correlate these changes with the age of the skin age. So to build this clock, we analyzed over 500 skin samples from different ages. And we saw okay, this is the pattern, epigenetic pattern of a skin at 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, and so on. And with this algorithm that we build now, if I isolate the DNA of any skin, I can run in this algorithm and will tell what's the biological age of this skin. Because a lot of times, you can have 2 persons that are both 37 years old, but depending on the environmental factors of this person, their skins can be looking wonderful or they can be showing way more signs of aging. So the biological age is a way that we can measure quantitatively those changes on the skin.
So this sounds like what True Diagnostics is doing with their True Age test, looking at DNA methylation for biological aging.
Yeah, True Diagnostic. There are other companies now. This is a growing market where we can, through a saliva sample, or you can measure what's your overall biological age. And this is a way of us to track, okay, if I make changes in my lifestyle, if I make changes, start some supplements, A, B, or C changes, you can see over time. It's a way of tracking, like if we're going in the right direction, how the DNA in our body is responding, because the epigenetic, it changes a lot, and it's responding to the things that you're doing to your body. So it's a growing space of like how we can track and measure the benefits of improving the lifestyle or using an intervention and things like that.
I've had other discussions about dermatology, integrative dermatology, and one of the topics that comes up is the pH of the skin. And some people tend to put things on their skin that are alkalinizing, and I understand that that's not particularly good because the skin is supposed to be slightly acidic.
Yeah, the skin is slightly acidic, so the pH is around like 5.5 and 6, so it's a more acidic pH. And this helps a lot on the balance also of the skin microbiome. So if you sometimes like using something that will create a pH change, it's good for short term, but what we want is to equalize, to balance this pH to the right. So if you are either getting too alkaline or too base, too base or too acid, your pH, you're also dysregulating functions on your skin, which, in my point of view, is not the most beneficial for maintaining your skin health.
So, are there certain things that people shouldn't put on their skin, from your opinion?
I mean, there are a lot of things that they shouldn't or they should do carefully. Like it's always good to have like a dermatologist or a statistician on especially acids that you're using, exfoliating that you're doing. Don't do in excess, or like even other acids like, because all of these acids will sometimes, and even retinoids, they will cause like a peeling effect on your skin. And we need to be careful, because if you exfoliate too much your skin, you are losing the skin barrier function. You are just like making your skin more sensitive to lose water, more sensitive to even like pathogens to enter your skin. And it can have like a good smoothing feeling in the beginning, but in the long term, it's not something that's too beneficial to your skin. So having this balance of like how much you do on your skin in terms, it's very important as well.
So, for example, coconut oil, which is very alkaline, probably not that good to put on the skin.
The coconut oil, yeah, there is this the pH is, you need to be a little bit, see where it is, but it's a very natural oil that will just like be on the top, on the surface of your skin, creating a little bit of barrier. I don't see it as something that is bad or good. There's no much beneficial effects in terms of like helping repair damage on your skin, but it can create a layer of oil on your skin that can be good or bad. It's not that the coconut oil for me is a very neutral oil in terms of like placing it on skin.
Now, I imagine that the skin is also a good reflection of what's going on inside the body.
Yeah. This is like a lot of, there's a change on like how we perceive skin now, which is what excites me a lot, that we are starting to realize the skin is not just this beauty appearance. It's telling what's going on your body. And it's also like, depending if your skin is not super good, it's also affecting your inner body, because the skin is an organ, has an important function. It's the barrier that's protecting your internal organs. So if things, we try to segment health a lot in the last years, but it's all holistic and all needs to be taking a look together. So we know that if there is some dysregulation, even like if your sleep is not well regulated, you can see it on your skin. If there is some more inflammation happening in your body. This can also be shown on the skin. And at the same time, if you have like a skin that the skin barrier is very compromised all the time, this can induce like more inflammation in your body and can lead over time to more chronic diseases. So there is correlation that people that have more eczema or psoriasis, that the skin barrier is very compromised, they tend to be more prone to a lot of other diseases in the inner cardiovascular diseases and other diseases that in the beginning has nothing to do with the skin, but there is a correlation there. So treating your skin in order to maintain the skin healthy with a strong skin barrier, it's more than just like looking better. It's really like something that you're doing to protect your inner body. And at the same time, if you're not doing anything else, if you're not like trying to have a balanced diet, take care of your sleep, doesn't matter that you're treating your skin, it will have an imbalance no matter what. So it's a combination. At the end of the day, the longevity science and the longevity mindset is showing us that's a combination of things that we do that will lead us to live a better life and a healthier life.
I've really been enjoying this discussion, but I'd like to tell you about this skincare product and we have a special promo for you for today. If you'd like to transform the way you think about skin and aging and unlock the secret to youthful skin, then discover OneSkin. OneSkin is a revolutionary longevity company that's developed a proprietary peptide, OS01, after screening over 900 peptides. And OS01 has been scientifically proven to reduce skin's biological age by improving the skin barrier, supporting DNA damage repair, and preventing the accumulation of aged cells. So go to oneskin.co and consider ordering their comprehensive, clean and safe skincare products. And if you use the promo code RATIONAL, you will get 15% off your first order. So don't miss out on this opportunity to give your skin the care it deserves. And now back to our discussion. So, Dr. Alessandra, what other things can we do to promote our skin health besides cosmetics? You're talking about this, the hydration. So obviously drinking a lot of water. I'm assuming you've talked about collagen. I would think that taking collagen peptides might be a good idea orally as well as antioxidants. We talked about antioxidants.
Yeah, I think like to maintain your skin healthy is not only about the cosmetics that you're applying on your skin. It also has a correlation with your overall health. So keeping yourself hydrated, as you said, it will help on your skin appearance. The sleep is one of the most important things that we have, like that we need to take care, because it's the time that our body is resetting, restoring, eliminating toxins. So to have a good skin, you also need to be carefully on like the quality of your sleep and taking care of that. Having a balanced diet where you consume enough proteins to your body, like to help have these building blocks to continue producing collagen and other things that it's important for your skin. So collagen intake, supplementing with collagen can be one way that you like increase your protein intake. At the end, I just want to make clear that when we drink collagen, like supplement, it's not that collagen that you're drinking is going to the skin and it's building more collagen there. The collagen that you take, it's breaking down in your digestive system and is helping your overall body. But it's a way to help like more protein intake. So if it's from a collagen supplement, it's from other sources, like the protein intake is what is important because our body needs those amino acids to rebuild like protein inside of our body. So I think
what are the main components of a skin healthy diet? So you got to have adequate amounts of protein, and people debate about how much protein and what type of protein, and should it be animal protein or plant protein?
So I would say that this discussion of animal protein, it goes to another level. I think like taking care of your protein, making sure you're having a good amount of protein intake, less processed sugar, especially sugar, because processed sugar can bind into proteins in our body and create something, create dysfunction in these proteins. And in the skin, it can bind to collagen and also create dysfunction on the skin. So less of like processed food and processed sugar. And of course, like a very diverse on vegetables, on fruits that will bring you antioxidants, that will bring things that will help you overall. If it's helping your health, it's also helping your skin health. It's kind of, they are communicating. So I think like including healthy like vegetables and also fruits that has antioxidants, that has fibers, that has vitamins, considering making sure you're taking enough protein on your diet and reducing the processed food, especially processed sugar. It's all beneficial to, it's nothing crazy, to be honest. It's just like a balanced diet is what we need.
And I'm sure having the right types of fats is beneficial as well.
Yes, exactly. Because a lot of, even on this upper layer, we need fat in our skin as well, and the production of oils. So we have olive oil, avocado oil, and like good fat components that can help as well on our skin health.
Okay. Any other tips for improving our biological aging? Exercise, is that helpful for skin?
Exercise is the number one thing that we know clearly that can improve your health, and because improve your overall mindset, improves your skin as well. And I would say that the number one to for me as well, and was a change that I saw in my life as well, is the change on your mindset when you become like someone more positive about your future, about your life, about how you will become later on, who you want to be, and you have this better attitude with your own self. It can really change everything. It changes the way you feel. It changes the look on your skin. It changes your energy. And it's really powerful, like controlling our thoughts and how the way we view our challenges in life. It can really be beneficial for your skin as well, and does not cost anything.
And I think another advantage of fruits and vegetables is that they contain a lot of water in them in a sort of structured form. And there's some data to show that that's a better way to hydrate our body than simply drinking water.
Yeah, it's very important because sometimes even like we need water, but we need a balance of like electrolytes in this water, like pure water. If you just like drink, it will not hydrate you as well than when the water is associated with other things. So the fruits and vegetables can bring this water like that. Also include the electrolytes on your daily way of drinking water can help to be a water that will be better absorbed by your body and will be more hydrating, let's say.
Do you think there's any kind of special water that's beneficial? There's all these people talking about different types of water, and we have alkaline water, and we have structured water, and we have all these different types of water.
Yeah, there is so much like water. Simply water can be so complex, right?
There's low deuterium water, and there's really a lot of stuff.
There is a lot of things to go over there. I mean, for me, I'm more pH balanced water, and I add electrolytes throughout my day to help like the intake of the water. But yeah, not much to say there.
Right. Okay. So it looks like you guys have like 3 main products that you've started with.
Yeah, so after discovering our peptide, we developed our first product is a face moisturizer that's intended to apply on your face. We chose to start with the face because it's where also like people has more concerns and it's an area that's more exposed to environmental stressors. So we have our face moisturizer, and then our second product was a body lotion because of this whole correlation of the skin being healthy to improve your health can not only come from your face. We need to take care of all the 93 other percent of skin that we have in our body. So we have a body lotion as well. And our third main product was an eye cream designed for the skin around the eye. And we designed this specifically because our research started to show we all know that around the eyes where we see the first signs of aging, we see more wrinkles, the wrinkles starts forming there. But when you look to the biological aspect of the skin around the eye, we saw that this skin accumulates more of the zombie cells, and the biological age of the skin under and upper the eye, it's 20 to 30 years older than on the temple or forehead. So with that information, we optimize a formula for around the eye that has the highest concentration of the peptide. So the face formula can also be used there, but if you are having more concerns, there's this other version that goes around the eye. And after this has been our main core products that are covering the skin of your whole body and face. And then we developed last year some SPFs because they're important as well in the routine to keep your skin healthy. You need to avoid excessive exposure to UV, especially some times of the day. The UV is the number one cause of aging. So we have SPF for your face and for your body as well.
And is that more of a barrier type of sunscreen? Yeah, because I think that's a lot safer than these chemicals that are being used.
Yeah, so our SPFs, they are zinc oxide, so they are produce a barrier on top of your skin that's a little bit different from the chemicals. There is a lot of controversial in the chemicals in terms of the safety of them. Usually, like the studies that shown some side effects, the amount of chemical of sunscreen that's applied is way higher than what you would apply. But to be more safe, we prefer the route of like the barrier sunscreens. That's why we chose to go with the zinc oxide one.
So right now I'm here in Los Angeles and we've all been getting exposed to lots of smoke and toxic chemicals. And I'm sure that's not having a positive effect on our skin as well as everything else.
Yeah, definitely. All the exposed to the heat, to the pollution, this irritates more your skin. This keeps your skin more fragile and more dehydrated, more susceptible. So it's very unfortunate, this situation in LA. One Skin is donating some of our products and SPF to the Firefront in LA. And what you can do is it's very important, like on those times and when you're exposed to those situations, to remember to take care of your skin. I know there's a lot of things going on, but it's also an important aspect to protect your inner body from all these big stressors that are coming from the environment.
Great. So tell us how our viewers can find out about your products.
Yeah, so on our website, oneskin.co, subscribe to our newsletter. We share a lot of like interesting content on not only skin health, but overall longevity. We run a lot of, every month we have a live event where we also bring partners to talk not only about the skin, but about mental health, how we can improve longevity in different aspects. We are also on Instagram and TikTok, oneskin.co. It's also a way of learning more about our products, and we're always available, our support team. If people have questions, just contact us. We love to address all of them.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you for making it all the way through this episode of the Rational Wellness Podcast. For those of you who enjoy listening to the Rational Wellness Podcast, I would very much appreciate it if you could go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and give us a 5-star ratings and review. As you may know, I continue to accept a limited number of new patients per month for functional medicine. If you would like help, overcoming a gut or other chronic health condition and want to prevent chronic problems and want to promote longevity, please call my Santa Monica Weitz Sports Chiropractic and Nutrition office at 310-395-3111, and we can set you up for a consultation for functional medicine. And I will talk to everybody next week.